news spreads and panic news of TG's death and the fall of the White Tiger spread like wildfire through the various gangs. Leaders of criminal organizations could not believe their eyes when they heard that a tight defense system like the White Tigers could be broken. Each of them was nervous, wondering if their organization could withstand such a brutal attack. The appearance of counterfeiters. While the gangs worried and increased their defenses, a new phenomenon began to appear on the streets. The 10 great assassins impersonators began to take advantage of the situation for personal gain. They began oppressing restaurant, bar, and small business owners, demanding protection, free meals, and even appropriating property. The impostor at the nightlight bar. One evening at nightlight bar, owner Hiroshi was busy serving customers. He had heard about the fall of the White Tiger and was worried about his bar's security. While thinking, a group of people walked in, dressed in black from head to toe, with a threatening appearance. The leader of the group, named Ryota, walked up to the bar and tapped hard on the table. "We are the 10 great assassins," Ryota announced, his voice cold. "From now on, this bar must pay us for protection. If not, you know what the consequences will be." Hiroshi looked up trembling, knowing he had no other choice. He nodded in agreement, even though he was filled with fear and anger. Ryota and his gang laughed loudly, then sat down and started ordering drinks, which were, of course, free. The impostor at Racino Restaurant. At Racino Restaurant, owner Kenji faced a similar situation. A group of people calling themselves the 10 Great Assassins walked in, threatened, and demanded protection money. Kenji tried to refuse, but one of the group, Yamada, slammed on the table, causing the entire restaurant to fall silent. "Don't you understand, boss?" Yamada said, his voice threatening. "We are not joking. If you don't pay the protection money, this restaurant will no longer be peaceful." Kenji felt desperate and had to agree. The group sat down, ordered the most expensive dishes, and did not forget to take money from the cashier before leaving. Impersonator at Sakura Convenience Store. Mr. and Mrs. Tanaka's Sakura Convenience Store also could not escape the oppression of counterfeiters. One evening, when the store was about to close, a group of people appeared, asking for protection. Mr. Tanaka, a frail old man, did not know what to do but obey. The group's leader, Kenta, smiled coldly when he saw the fear in Mr. Tanaka's eyes. "From now on, this store is ours," Kenta said. "You just need to follow orders and you won't be harmed. But if you dare to resist, the consequences will be very bad." Mr. Tanaka nodded, filled with fear and pain. He knew there was nothing he could do but comply. Life under pressure. Counterfeiters didn't stop at protection and free food. They began demanding money from small businesses, even appropriating property. Their presence made people's lives difficult and stressful. While news of the White Tiger's fall and TG's death caused anxiety and panic, it also motivated counterfeiters to take advantage of the situation for personal gain. A gathering storm, Hiroshi, Kenji, and Mr. Tanaka were not the only victims. The counterfeiters spread their influence quickly, causing chaos and fear among the small business community. Many began to question the authenticity of these so-called 10 Great Assassins, but fear of retribution kept them silent. An explosion of pain and outrage. Upon hearing the news of TG's death, Tiga felt as if the world had collapsed beneath his feet. The pain of losing his beloved brother and loyal comrade was like a knife stabbing straight into his heart. Tiga could not control his emotions. In a fit of rage, he smashed the dining table with a single punch, sending fragments flying everywhere. Anger continued to flare as Tiga turned around and threw a thunderous punch at the dining room wall. The solid wall could not withstand his strength, creating a huge hole. The surrounding prisoners witnessed this scene, horrified and frightened by Tiga's boundless power. Consequences and solitary confinement. Tiga's violent actions could not be ignored. Within minutes, 10 prison guards were dispatched to control him. They carried electric whips and handcuffs, ready to deal with Tiga's wrath. Despite being outnumbered, Tiga showed neither fear nor retreat. He stood there, his eyes bloodshot and sparkling with pain and anger. When the prison guards approached, Tiga did not resist. He let them handcuff him and lead him away. In his mind, there was only the image of TG and his determination to take revenge. Tiga was placed in solitary confinement, where he would face loneliness and pain alone. The pain of solitary confinement. During 3 days in solitary confinement, Tiga couldn't stop thinking about TG. The image of his younger brother, his bright smile, enthusiasm, and loyalty were always clear in his mind. Tiga recalled childhood memories, when the two of them played and dreamed of a bright future together. Every time he thought about TG falling at Silverback's hands, Tiga's heart felt torn apart. He imagined TG fighting, each kick and powerful counterattack, but in the end unable to escape his cruel fate. Tiga felt as if he had failed to protect his younger brother, unable to stand by TG's side in the most dangerous moment. Wrath and determination. The pain of losing his brother only increased the anger in Tiga's heart. He broke the dining table and the cell wall not only to release his anger, but also to vow revenge. In his bloodshot eyes, Tiga saw not only TG's silhouette, but also a commitment to himself. He had to escape this prison, find a way to stand up and avenge TG, and prove that even if the White Tiger collapsed, their fighting spirit would never die. Nightmares and broken dreams. During the nights in solitary confinement, Tiga could not sleep peacefully. The nightmare of TG being defeated and falling before Silverback haunted him. Tiga found himself running, but always one step too late, unable to save his younger brother. Each time he woke up, sweating profusely, Tiga's heart tightened with pain and helplessness. The dreams of Tiga and TG and the White Tiger for a bright future were now shattered. Tiga once dreamed that the two brothers would rebuild the White Tiger together, stronger and more solid than ever. But now, all that remained were fragments of a shattered dream. Brotherhood and loyalty. For Tiga, TG was not only a younger brother, but also a loyal companion and teammate. The brotherhood between them was not just blood, but also the connection of warriors who had overcome many difficulties and challenges together. Whenever he thought about TG, Tiga remembered the times the two brothers fought together and protected each other in fierce battles. TG was always the person standing behind Tiga, supporting and believing in his leadership ability. This loss was not only the loss of a loved one, but also the loss of a part of himself. Determined to revenge. 3 days of solitary confinement were also 3 days during which Tiga promised himself that he would not let TG die in vain. When released, Tiga was ready for a new fight. He found his junior and whispered a simple but determined command. Please convey my words to Mima. I want to get out of here. You just need to say that to Mima. He will understand what I want. This message was not only a request, but also an oath from Tiga. He would find a way to escape this prison, meet Mema, and reunite with the rest of his comrades. Tiga would not rest until he avenged TG and restored the White Tiger's honor. Pain and hope. Although the pain of loss still weighed heavily in his heart, Tiga understood that he must turn this pain into strength. He must use this loss as motivation to fight, to stand up, and to never give up. In Tiga's heart, TG's image still lived on, like a fire that never went out. That fire would guide Tiga and help him overcome all the challenges and difficulties ahead. Tiga knew that the path of revenge would not be easy, but with love and nostalgia for TG, he believed that he would be able to stand up and fight until the end. Ending and new beginnings. The pain of loss, anger, and determination for revenge blended in Tiga's heart, creating a new person. He was no longer the Tiga of the past, but a warrior with a mission to protect the White Tiger's honor and avenge his beloved younger brother. The journey ahead was full of hardships, but with determination and love for TG, Tiga would never give up. He would fight until he had no strength left, until justice was served and the White Tiger's honor was restored. In Tiga's heart, TG's image was always present as an endless source of motivation. And no matter how difficult the journey ahead was, Tiga would always move on, with determination and love that never failed. About Tiga, Ultimate Martial Arts. Tiga, one of the legendary figures of the underworld, was praised by the gangs not only for his superior martial arts skills, but also for his loyalty and indomitable spirit. He was an unparalleled warrior, famous for his ultimate technique, Tiger Claw, a special martial art that only true masters could practice. With Tiger Claw, Tiga could tear apart an enemy's body in the blink of an eye, terrifying his opponents with his strength and speed. Training in early life. Tiga's journey to the top was marked by rigorous training and unyielding discipline. From a young age, he dedicated himself to mastering various martial arts. His training sessions were long and grueling, often lasting from dawn until dusk. His commitment to honing his skills was unwavering, and it was this dedication that set him apart from his peers. Tiga's early years were spent under the tutelage of some of the most skilled martial artists in the world. These masters taught him not only the physical aspects of combat, but also the mental and spiritual disciplines that were essential for a true warrior. Tiga absorbed these lessons with a fervor that impressed even his teachers. Rising through the ranks. As Tiga's skills improved, he began to participate in local tournaments. His victories were swift and decisive, quickly earning him a reputation as a formidable fighter. It wasn't long before he started to attract the attention of more significant figures in the martial arts world. One by one, Tiga faced and defeated some of the most skilled fighters in the region. Each victory brought him closer to his goal of becoming the best. His name became synonymous with excellence, and his presence in a tournament was enough to strike fear into the hearts of his opponents. The creation of Tiger Claw. The Tiger Claw technique was not something that Tiga learned from a master. Instead, it was a creation of his own, born from years of experience and experimentation. Tiga spent countless hours developing this technique, refining it until it became a devastating weapon. Tiger Claw was a combination of speed, precision, and raw power. It required not only physical strength, but also a deep understanding of an opponent's weaknesses. Tiga's mastery of this technique made him nearly invincible in combat, as he could dismantle an opponent's defense with terrifying efficiency. The Battle with Dragon Horse. The Battle with Dragon Horse was a turning point in Tiga's career. It was not just a fight between two martial artists, but a clash of philosophies and techniques. Dragon Horse's Phoenix Fist was known for its elegance and fluidity, while Tiga's Tiger Claw was brutal and direct. The moonlit night added a surreal quality to the match, as if the heavens themselves were watching. Thousands of spectators held their breath as the two warriors clashed. Every move was calculated, every strike a testament to their skill. For an hour, they fought without pause, neither gaining a clear advantage. But in the end, it was Tiga's relentless aggression and unparalleled technique that broke through Dragon Horse's defenses. The victory solidified Tiga's status as a living legend and earned him the respect of the martial arts community. The war against the Cunning Hyena. The Cunning Hyena gang was a menace to the underworld, known for their ruthlessness and cunning strategies. When they began encroaching on Tiga's territory, he knew that a direct confrontation was inevitable. Leading a group of elite warriors, Tiga infiltrated the Cunning Hyena's stronghold. The battle that ensued was intense, with both sides employing every trick and tactic they knew. Tiga's Tiger Claw was instrumental in breaking the enemy lines, allowing his team to dismantle the gang from within. The defeat of the Cunning Hyena gang was a significant victory for Tiga. It not only freed his territory from their tyranny, but also sent a clear message to other gangs that Tiga was not to be trifled with. Rescue from the Black Dragon Gang. The rescue mission against the Black Dragon Gang, an unknown group in the gang world, showcased Tiga's leadership and strategic prowess. The Black Dragon Gang had kidnapped hostages to ransom from the White Tiger Gang, hoping to weaken their rivals. Tiga volunteered to lead the rescue mission, knowing that failure was not an option. The plan was meticulous and the execution flawless. Tiga's encounter with the Black Dragon leader was the highlight of the mission. The Dragon Claw technique was formidable, but Tiga's Tiger Claw proved superior. The hostages were freed, and the Black Dragon Gang was left in disarray. Tiga's reputation soared even higher, and he was hailed as a hero by those he had saved. Among the four heroes, being named one of the four heroes was a testament to Tiga's skills and character. This elite group represented the pinnacle of martial arts in the underworld, and membership was a mark of immense respect and honor. Tiga's inclusion among the four heroes was not just due to his combat prowess. It was also a recognition of his leadership, loyalty, and the values he stood for. He was a beacon of hope and a role model for aspiring martial artists. Never backing down, Tiga's indomitable spirit was evident in every battle he fought. He faced each challenge head-on, never backing down, no matter how formidable the opponent. His courage inspired those around him and earned him the admiration of allies and enemies alike. Even in situations where defeat seemed inevitable, Tiga's resolve never wavered. This relentless determination was a key factor in his many victories and cemented his status as a legend. Respect from the underworld. Tiga's influence extended far beyond the White Tiger gang. Gangs across the underworld respected him for his strength, honor, and the principles he upheld. His name was synonymous with integrity, and his presence commanded respect. A beacon of hope. For many in the underworld, Tiga was more than just a warrior. He was a symbol of hope and resilience. His life story, marked by relentless training, unwavering dedication, and countless victories, was an inspiration to all who knew him. In every battle, Tiga carried the hopes and dreams of his comrades. His victories were their victories, and his strength was their strength. He embodied the spirit of the White Tiger, a spirit that refused to be broken. The legacy of Tiga's legacy is one of strength, honor, and unwavering determination. He proved that true power comes not only from physical prowess but also from the values one holds dear. His tiger claw technique, a symbol of his mastery, will be remembered and revered for generations. Tiga's life serves as a reminder that even in the darkest times, hope and resilience can shine through. His story will continue to inspire future warriors, guiding them on their paths to greatness.